Hello, good evening. I am early tonight. Let me share. Tag a couple folks. Okay. Hello. Hey, Grace. How are you? I'm actually going early tonight because I am going out this evening. I'm going to celebrate. So you all know I always come through. I never skip a day. And we're here at day 26. Day 26 of the Boss Up Challenge, 30-day Boss Up Challenge, and we are getting down to the wire. So let's see, what are we going to do first? Acknowledgements. We're going to acknowledge, I'm good, thank you. Actually, I kind of ran out of time, so I didn't get to finish. I didn't do anything with my eyes, but hey, Derek, I'm early tonight. Sorry I didn't give prior notice. It actually was kind of impromptu that I decided I'm going out this evening and going to celebrate some good news that I got earlier today. So I'm going to do this early for you all, and then it should be reposted at 9 o'clock for those that may have been looking out for me at 9. Hey, girl. Hey. So, yes, impromptu, going out, celebrating, and but I still want to keep my word, and you know I always keep my boss role in the forefront. Party animal, well, it's not really partying. This is going to be low-key, but definitely celebrating. Thank you, girl. Oh, that was my first choice placement, so I'm so happy about it, and it kind of got me, at first I thought I had a plan, and then I got that news, and I got some other news, and then I was like, oh man, these options, it's when you have so many options, you're just overwhelmed because you can't do everything. But that's a good problem to have. I will take that problem for certain. I am going to celebrate. Yeah, so basically I had told people sometime last week I hadn't gotten the official letter, but I had gotten accepted into the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine as a research extern as a part of my doctoral program. And that was my first choice, my top pick, and I didn't know that I was going to get in because, first of all, I was a part of a school that was not very reputable, and I just wasn't sure if I was going to measure up for Hopkins Medical School. So I'm very happy about that. And now I have some more decisions to make, because for a minute there I was thinking I was going to pause on school and put business first because I had to reprioritize some things. But when Hopkins makes you an offer, I mean, I don't know if you really can refuse that. So I'm really happy though. So let's see, what do you got there? This is what it means when your cup overflows so much that you don't have room enough to receive. Yep, you were blessed. Man, I wish, it's a good problem to have. I'll say that much. I feel a little overwhelmed because there are so many things that I want to do, and I just know I can't do them all, and it's just, that's the only part that really bothers me. It's just not being able to do everything I want to do all at the same time. But I have a lot to think about. I'm still going to celebrate, because even if I don't follow through with it, which who knows, but I still am going to celebrate the accomplishment of getting in. So enough about me with regard to that. I wanted to give you all this message. Before we get to the message, we need to do our acknowledgments. And I'm going to be acknowledging Lisa Hugh this evening. Lisa Hugh of Southern Maryland Dietitian. She's a registered, I think you call them registered or either licensed dietitian in Maryland. She's down in Charles County, and you can go to southernmarylanddietitian.com and you can find her information there. I remember when Lisa was working for a company, and I remember she consulted with me informally, just periodically checking in with me, asking me about business and different things. And I remember when she was like in the brainstorming phase, and she was threatening to start her own business and everything, and she actually did it. So I want to congratulate her and give her a shout out for bossing up, because she did what she said she was going to do. Now, as far as opportunities, the Snidget Creative Group is looking for people that can do a number of roles related to a multimedia franchise. So we're talking about actors, voiceovers, videographers, cinematographers, the artsy people, the creative people, script writers, those kind of things. And we are looking for our rookies. We're looking for the up and coming people that are not so set in their ways, that they're still groomable and still eager and energetic about what they do. So if it's a high schooler, they would need to at least be in the 12th grade, but mostly like college students that may be majoring in those majors, basically. I'm not exactly sure what the major would be called, but those type of things. There are people that are in school for that, and it can be considered an apprenticeship, an internship, an externship, or just volunteer or even employment. So it's all kind of things that can happen. So if you know anyone, please have them reach out to us, the Snidget Creative Group. I'll put the information in. I say that every time, and then I haven't been following up with it. That is the inspiration for the message tonight, which we'll get to in a second. So the goal check-in. Last night, we talked about when to call it quits with either your business, a strategy you've been using in business, a mindset that you approach, that you're like whatever related to business, that the process of figuring out when are you done, like when do you stop. So the goal was to assess the business you're working on right now, either the one that you're brainstorming and thinking about, or that you're actually doing, and you were supposed to assess whether or not it's time to call it quits. That was the goal. So let me know if you accomplished your goals. If you didn't, I wouldn't be surprised, because it's not really something you probably could figure out overnight. But at least I'm hoping that you put some time into it, basically. All right, let's get to the message, and that is get organized. My goodness, get organized. This was inspired by my current situation, where I'm just all over the place. Literally, physically, I'm all over the place. Logistically, I mean, here, there, everywhere, spending the night here, spending the night there, staying up late working on things. And it's like you feel scattered and out of sorts. And you know, like for instance, you can see how like when I first started the Boss Up Challenge, you know, as I progressed into like having a way of doing things, having my typed notes, making sure that I would follow up about the goal check-in, make sure I would assign goals. You know, I was always in the same spot. You would notice there was like the same background every single night. And it just, you know, there was like a routine. I just knew like where my little folder was that I keep for Business Builder Basics. There was organization there. As soon as I started like getting more active and getting busy and moving from place to place, that's when I noticed that I would forget certain things, like forget to assign a goal, forget to check in. I would have difficulty thinking of acknowledgments, and started like handwriting my notes instead of typing them out and printing them all nice and neat. I would, the times have had to change, so there's been some variation there. And if I say that, you know, if I acknowledge someone and then I say I'll put it in the chat later when I'm done with the message, then it doesn't happen, right? So here I am, I'm saying I'll do certain things, then it doesn't happen. If you go to the YouTube channel, you will notice that the last several days have not been uploaded yet. And that's because I have this new device that I'm not that accustomed to, and I have to use my laptop, but my laptop is usually sitting at the place where I was doing this in the beginning. Now I have to cart it around. So you can kind of see like what, when you're not grounded and you're disorganized, you can see the quality of your product go down, or you can see, you can just see differences. It's not that you're not still moving forward or doing good things, but I notice a change. And so it's like the product is not the same, nor is the process, nor is my internal state of mind. Because when I feel like, okay, well, I'm staying here this particular night, I'm going to be at the studio this particular night, I'll pack a bag, stay there so I don't have to get up early. And, so I'm all over the place. I'm living out of suitcases, and I have my book bag I'm carting around. And I just noticed it's just harder. It's harder. And I've been here before. I've definitely been all over the place before. And so I think it's a good thing to acknowledge it and show you all how when you get overwhelmed, or you're all over the place physically, and you're not prepared, you're just kind of winging it, you run a real risk of your product or whatever you're doing not being top notch. Now, sometimes I admit, there are so many things to do when you're starting a business. You're not always able to manage your time perfectly or do all the things that you want to do. Sometimes it's like it is jumbled up, and it's not like seamless, flawless transitions, or a lot of consistency. But what you want to try to do is, when possible, make provisions to get organized. If you absolutely can, and it's something you can afford to do, take the time to get organized. And that just means, like, first organizing your thoughts, right? Organizing your thoughts, and then organizing your space, and just getting information, basically. I think that's what Beyonce was talking about when she's like, get information. In a sense, it's like you have to, before you can make power moves out here, you have to get things in alignment. You have to get information. And it's harder when you don't. So I'm living that right now. And I'm still, tuning in and everything. But like, for instance, last night, I had to go live from the car because I didn't want to be real late with tuning in with you guys. Today, I'm going early. And you'll notice that you've seen different backgrounds the past, several days. So it's just, it really can take a toll. Now, I will say, one of the differences that I've noticed, because I'm doing the Boss Up Challenge and I am presenting myself to you all, I try to get presentable, basically. And what I notice is that when you are trying to look nice and be presentable, it can be quite time consuming. And typically, that's not something that I make time for. I'll just be honest. I don't get dressed up every day. I don't put makeup on every day. That's not a usual routine for me. So adding that into the routine while I'm actually trying to boss up and actively getting busy is definitely harder. It takes time. And so if you get organized, you can try to, the more things you try to do in a smaller amount of time, you must be organized to make it work. Otherwise, nothing really gets done. So let me give you some tips and pointers on what you can do to be organized with how you're going about doing your business and leading your team, or even just leading yourself. My sister came up with the idea of doing your checklist, and I call it like a things to do list, where each day you wake up and you can put it in your phone, or you can write it out in like a day planner or whatever you prefer, and you just write out all the things that you remember that you need to do. because as you get busy, you will forget things. And if you have a very active mind, and most bosses, they're born bosses, they have overactive minds, and you will definitely forget things, or you'll have like information overload. So it's definitely important to jot things down, either, or you can use a voice recorder. It's a number of things that you can do. Figure out what works for you and do it. But you want to, it's really good when you start your day to do it. Even when you end your day, it's good to reflect on your list and see what you accomplished and see what's going to spill over to the next day. In my case, anytime I've ever lived by the things to do list kind of routine, there's always something left to go to the next day. It's never, I don't think I've ever like gotten everything off the list. It's always piling on more and more and more. That's why being active with your business every day is important, because it's not enough hours in a day. So if you're taking days off and you're, relaxing or feeling entitled to a break, really all it's going to do is pile up on the back end. And that's why it's important, if you're going to boss up, you should learn that, lose the employee mentality where you have weekends and holidays, like you're entitled, like, oh, it's the weekend, I'm going to relax, I'm going to chill. If you're in boss mode, there may be no days off, when you're at a certain stage of your business. And even if you were to like take the time off or to try to get some rest or go on a vacation, knowing and being aware of all the things you have to do that are not done can really make you not enjoy yourself. You can really try, and this is why I just gave up on that. A lot of times people will say, oh, you just really need a vacation, just take a vacation. And I just stopped listening to people when they said that, because I knew they meant well, but they didn't understand that even if I went on a cruise or went, somewhere beautiful where it's like, sand and crystal clear water on the beach, I would be thinking in my mind, like, did I do the taxes? Or is that new client going to be scheduled? Or if the person on hospice, I wonder if they passed away because I'm out of the country and I'm not really, accessible. Like, those are the things that would be on my mind, which is why I just gave up on thinking that I was entitled to days off. Now, those days will come, but whether you're having a baby, pregnant, sick, getting married, their birthdays, holidays, you're gonna feel sometimes like your business is running you instead of you running your business. And that's very normal. But I assure you, most people are working harder on their jobs than they would be if they were working for themselves and just don't even realize it. Working around someone's schedule that they give you, traffic, rush hour, and then the productivity that may be expected of you. A lot of times people are working harder being employed than they would if they would just boss up. But when you boss up, that initial stage can be really hard and nothing is promised. There is no paycheck that's promised when you're bossing up. But a lot of people are working harder for other people than they would be for themselves. So I don't know. It's really something to consider. I see a comment here. What weekends? She works for the money. She works for them. Yes, that's right. It just really doesn't, sometimes it just doesn't feel like you have days off. So I did the Boss Up Challenge to try to help people get in the mode of thinking about your business and doing something for your business, towards your business every day. And really all I asked for was 20 minutes. In reality, if you're doing it properly, you're probably going to be devoting more than just 20 minutes a day to your business. But this was to help get people in the habit, basically. I think they say do anything for 21 days, it becomes a habit. So I said, well, let's do 30-day Boss Up Challenge, get people really actively thinking about options and things that they can do or getting their business to the next level every day, thinking about something every day. But in doing that, you have to like work things around the commitment that you've made. So far we're on day 26 and I have not missed one day of tuning in, saying, I'll do what I'm going to do with this Boss Up Challenge. But that has been a challenge because I've had to work it around family events, things in my personal life, my children, and also just it being kind of like some evenings that's like prime time for going out, having fun, doing things. And it's like I always have to be prepared. I also, like I said, I was not in the habit of having to get dressed and get done up. Now I do that every day, even if I didn't have to leave the house otherwise. So it's been an adjustment, and that's just like business, basically. You have to do the things that you really don't feel like doing, even when you want to go out and have fun, or, you know, you have to work things around the commitment that you've made. And I live that every day. So it's like when people want to do things with me, just like not just during the 30-day Boss Up Challenge, but my life, oftentimes I have to say, no, I don't have time. I have a midterm coming up, or, you know, I have a business meeting, or my kids need this or that. And you just find yourself just being very busy and unavailable. But when you go into business, a lot of times business is going to take the forefront. And if you are not willing to do that, I would say you're not ready to boss up, basically. You can't just bail just because somebody invites you to dinner, you know, or wants to take you out, or wants to, you know, visit with you, or you have some opportunity. And it's just like, wait, I forgot I'm supposed to be doing the Boss Up Challenge every day. You have to go ahead and follow through. But it makes it easier when you get organized, and it just becomes easier. So that is the message for tonight, which is to get organized. And I noticed the past several days, my organization has not been good because I've been out of my element. I've been like at my sister's house, the studio, visiting with friends, just doing different things. And like, I'm just like, this isn't even my office right now. This is my sister's office. So I don't have access to the things I normally would. So organization is very important. The goal for you all that I'm going to set, the homework, is for you all to assess your level of organization. Determine how good your organizational skills are. And if you know you're a hot mess, then you need to try to implement some of those things I was talking about, like the things to do list, and making voice memos to yourself, using a calendar when you're scheduling meetings and you don't want to like be double booked or forget things. Make sure you have an alarm, just those simple kind of things, and just keep it together. Basically, have your space that you typically do things, and then also create like a backup plan, like a little mobile office where you have, if you did have to jump up and get on the road, you have like, you know, a little portable like file, accordion file, and, you know, pens, paper, just, you know, I walk around, I have like a stapler I keep, I have like a little office, but it helps. Your calendar is in my ear. I'm so smart. Thank you. I'm telling you, I've not been organized. And if you would have saw my room the other day, I had to clean my room just for y'all, just for the Boss Up Challenge. I know my best friend is in here right now, and she's doing a bunch of thumbs up because she knows how my bedroom normally looks. She knows. So I know when she saw my bedroom on the Boss Up Challenge, she probably was like, what is that place? Where are you right now? Because it's probably not even recognizable. Sometimes you can have organized chaos, though. You know how you'll have like piles of stuff, but you know where your stuff is. And actually, if you were to clean up and put it where it belongs, then that's when you would have a problem finding it. Yeah, that's my life. So I need to get more organized, and I'm going to tell you all, if you have a problem with that, please get organized, people. Get information. You know what I'm talking about. You know, nothing's changed since high school, middle school. The room is still the same. Okay, well, Anybody have any questions? Q&A. I don't want to cut you guys off early, but as I said, I will be going out this evening. Yes, organized chaos is real. It really is. It's a thing. So I see Derek thumbs upping. I let him call it every night. And also, Derek, can you do me a favor? You know what I'm going to ask. Would you mind? I hate to assume that you're available, but if you are available at 9 o'clock, would you please repost this video? Where is your assistant? I don't know that I have. Well, I have people that help me do things. I don't know that I have a personal assistant. I mean, I have someone that works, she serves in that position informally because she has my back, but that's not really her title. And that would be Valencia Baker. Whenever I need anything, I just shoot her a text and she invoices me, and that's that. You need one on payroll. Yeah. I don't like to call her my assistant because I feel like that downplays like her position in life and her status. But she's like an executive assistant to me. I value her. Like, she knows the inner workings of the business. She makes sure the payroll gets done. She has access to the bank accounts. She knows me. Like, she knows I can contact her anytime, day or night, and she'll squeeze me in if it's something that I need her to do. So, but I don't like to call her my assistant. It just feels like it has because she's a shareholder in the company, and I think her position is higher than just that. She's the chief administrative officer of Progeny Enterprises, basically. So I would not dare call her my assistant. But she's very helpful. Yeah, that would be nice. It would be nice to have one. Well, so far I have a chef that does meal prep for me and my family. I have a housekeeper now. Her name is Ophelia, and I will be sure to shout her out for her services. I just started using her, and I have Valencia that assists me. But personally, yeah, I don't have a personal assistant. Now, oh, this is apple juice. You see the ice in there? I hate to be so juvenile. I love apple juice. I love apple juice. So, nope. It looks like it's actually beer, but I'm not a beer drinker. I'm so sorry, apple juice. I'm going out tonight, and I probably will not drink. Hey, Mom. The message tonight is get organized, and I was talking about how messy my bedroom is and how I just was always that way as a child and nothing has changed, basically. Encouraging people to get organized, their space, their thoughts, their mind, everything. All right, so since I do need to get going, I'm gonna let you all go. And Derek, I would appreciate if you would share the video for me at 9. If you're unable to do it, I understand. I'll try to check in and see if it's done when I'm out. But please like the video and share the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Pretty please support me so that we can grow this group. All right. Thank you, Derek. You know I appreciate you. The message is well needed, yes. And because I'm very excited about going out tonight, I'm going to get out of here. So you guys boss up, and I will tune in with you tomorrow.